I guess you was kind of tickled to get a baby girl, weren't you?
Oh, yeah, poor Aunt. And you know, Aunt Still and Aunt Nit, they can't control their feelings. And they were feeling, they felt bad about it too, but they were feeling bad for me and Aunt Still. I could just see her looking at me like, oh, that poor Hilda, she's going to lose her, she's going to lose her. She was so tickled to have her. But anyway, yeah, it was a sad time. And poor little Isla, she could, I don't know what we'd done without Isla. But they were all sure good to me.
Grandma, I don't remember you telling about Uncle Larry having typhoid fever. How old was he when that happened?
Oh, he was about, what was it, about 2 or 3 years old?
No, I was older than that. I was probably, oh, I'd say 7 or 8.
Was you that old?
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty
So you
scary
can probably remember
disease
being
during
I
that.
can remember it. If it was 2 or 3, I wouldn't remember it.
Well, you'd almost think that I didn't know how to take care of babies, wouldn't you? I had trouble with them all.
What? How did Larry get better? Was he in the hospital?
Oh, well, he'd come out of it. They didn't,
6
in
weeks.
those years, they didn't have all these wonderful things to do. They had to do with the best they could with what they had. Nowadays, they could just flip pneumonia right straight.
How did I catch typhoid fever?
water or something.
How did I get typhoid fever, do you know?
I don't know that. Typhoid fever does something to your bodies, though.
How did he catch it?
I don't know. I just don't know that either.
Did
Maybe
they have
I
to-
didn't take
did-
good care of him.
Did they
I
test
don't
the
know.
milk and water and everything for me?
I don't know. I just,
Yeah, they did. How about Uncle Mike, or your brother, or our brother Mike? Did he have some illnesses too when he was born? Michael?
Who?
Michael, was he sick when he was born?
Oh, that poor Michael. I went through so much with the Tamara and all the worry. That poor Michael. He had eczema so bad, his whole body, the only part of his body that wasn't just raw with eczema was his bottom. And I said to Dr. Craig, isn't that funny that that's the only place he hasn't got? He says, "Then you ought to be mighty thankful for that, because that would be mighty hard to take care of," he said. But oh, and then he had asthma so bad. And anyway, Dr. Craig said, well, of course we had to take him down to Dr. Barlow was like what Brad is, a pediatrician, you know, in the Logan Hospital. So then Dr. Cricket would take, when they get bad, he took Tamara to him. Why, he'd take over, and he said, you know, this asthma, he says, and the way I can explain it best to you, you see how his body's covered with this eczema? On the inside of his body is this asthma, and it's the same, that's what the asthmas do, the same thing. They go hand in hand, asthma.
Eczema.
Uh-huh. And he says, that poor little boy, he said, he's really got it bad. And oh, he was such a mess. Oh, and he was quite a big kid, and we couldn't get no pictures of him. He was so awful. His face. Oh. But anyway, one day he looked pretty good. There's that little better on our front porch, that picture of Michael Lawcom. Says, he looks pretty good today. I'm going to go get my camera and get his picture. That was the first picture we had of Michael.
He had that eczema for about 2 or 3 years?
Oh, yeah, he looked like he's more than 3 years. I don't know.
She used to rub some brown medicine on it or something.
Oh, they
Seemed
did.
like that's what you did.
They did everything. And when you got both of them, you know, he was so bad with asthma that he couldn't get his breath. They just go right off, you know. And Dr. Cricket said, well, the minute he starts, don't wait 1 minute. Just get him, wrap a blanket around him and bring him in, and don't come to the front door, you come to my back door. And come right in, because we've got to give him adrenaline. That's the only way and you know that adrenaline, in 15 minutes, he could breathe. Talk about a magic medicine. I know Dr. Noble was in there one day, and he says, "How do you like that for a case of asthma?" He says, "I'd call that pretty bad." And he said, "Well, that's the only way we're controlling it is with adrenaline." But oh, he had to take it slow. But it had bad effects on him too. It made him nervous. And, oh, he was the
Well,
best.
you had to
Oh,
hold him a lot too, didn't you?
Hmm?
Didn't you have to hold him a lot?
had to
take
do
care of
everything
him.
because
Held him in the sun.
He looked such a mess with the eczema. Because he had all his arms and his hands and his face, his poor little face. The only face, that's what I said, the only place he didn't have it was on his bottom. And he did,
I remember when they found out, well, when he got older, I remember what made those attacks happen. You know, we were playing in the parachute. Do you remember that story?
anything silk or
Yeah.
nylon. Yeah, they found that out, that they get in contact with the,
That's crazy. This is the
and that
fourth
would bring
time.
on a case right straight. I left him with Laura. Well, the first we knew about that is when I had to have my dentures.
Oh, you're.
And I left him with Laura, and he had a bad attack while we were gone. She said, "Oh, it scared me to death. He couldn't breathe, and they just, oh, he was terrible." He said, "But I guess we let him go out there because he had that parachute thing, and he would kind of run up into it, you know, play. It wasn't very big." And he said, she says that he started with one of those attacks, and I thought he was going to die. He couldn't breathe. Oh, and then one day, she kept him for me. She wrapped, being living so close, she just took a scarf and put over his head,
Take him out.
and to take him out in a little sweater, and that darn silk scarf started it again. So that we knew we couldn't put silk or nylon or anything around him. Oh, he had it so bad. Oh,
It's lucky he grew out of it, isn't it?
Dr. Cragen said he would, but I didn't believe
Didn't
him.
think you'd ever go out of it, huh?
Dr. Cragen says, I know you're going through a lot and it's awful to see you like that, but he says, I almost would bet that he's going to go out the road. You'll never know he even had it. And I thought to myself, oh, well, that's what you say. But like all he did, he don't have a sign of it anymore. It's all right.
Didn't we think it was kind of hereditary because Uncle Weldon had eczema and that, didn't he?
Yeah, they said that they kind of run in the family. But oh, that asthma's the wicked stuff.
Yeah.
Boy, when they can't get their breath, it scares you to death. He's like he's just gone right off. Oh,
Bruce still has it. Yeah, it's bad.
Why did you name Michael Michael?
I just love the name of Michael, and one of my friends in Weston, Mike Merrill. His name wasn't Michael though. His name was Myron, and they called him Mike Merrill. And they had a son, and they named him Michael. And I thought, oh, I just love that name. And I hesitated because I thought, oh, they're not going to like it because I've named. So I said to Gladys, right, I hope you don't mind I named him Michael, but I just love that. She said, oh, well, I'm just honored to think you like it. But that was my first introduction to the name of Michael. I just love the
That's the
name.
#1 name. It's been for years and years and years. The top popular name, Michael.
I just love the name of Michael.